Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Everybody doesn't need access to you. See, when you move in silence, people can't block what they don't see coming. Too many dreams have been killed in conversations that should have never happened. Too many blessings have been fumbled because somebody opened their mouth too soon. Privacy is power. The less they know, the less they can misuse. In a world where people feel entitled to every detail of your life, keeping things to yourself is not just a choice, it's a necessity. We have been conditioned to believe that sharing every moment, every achievement, every struggle somehow validates us. But the truth is, the more you put out, the more you give people the opportunity to manipulate, judge, and interfere with what is meant to be yours. There is strength in moving quietly. When you share too much, you invite unnecessary opinions, unwanted energy, and unexpected obstacles. Not everyone listening to your plans wants to see them succeed. Not everyone hearing your dreams is cheering for them to come true. Some people are just collecting information, waiting for the right moment to use it against you. Others smile in your face but secretly hope you fail because it makes them feel better about where they are. Keeping your life private doesn't mean you are hiding, it means you are protecting. What you love, what you work for, what you build, deserves to be covered until it is strong enough to stand on its own. They announce a new job before they've signed the contract. They post about their happiness before they've built the foundation to sustain it. They expose their next move before they've secured their position. And when things don't go as planned, they find themselves embarrassed, having to explain failures that were never meant to be public in the first place. Privacy allows you to control the narrative of your life. It gives you the space to grow without pressure, to heal without interference, and to build without distractions. There is a reason why some of the most successful people don't speak on what they're doing until it's already done. It's not secrecy, it's wisdom. They understand that not everything needs an audience, that progress is best made in silence, that the loudest moves are the ones people never see coming. The more people know about you, the more they feel entitled to have an opinion on your life. The moment you share your plans, you invite criticism. The moment you let people in on your struggles, you give them the power to define your story. The moment you let too many people have access, you lose control over what is truly yours. And once something is out there, you can't take it back. We live in a world where oversharing is normalized, where privacy is mistaken for secrecy, and where people believe that if it's not posted, it didn't happen. But true strength lies in knowing what to keep sacred. Not every joy needs to be displayed, not every success needs an announcement, and not every part of your journey needs spectators. When you keep your life private, you move with intention. You make decisions based on what's best for you, not based on what others expect. You build a foundation so strong that when you do decide to reveal something, it's already unshakable. Some people will never understand the importance of privacy because they seek validation in visibility. They crave attention more than they value peace. But when you know your worth, you don't need applause to confirm it. When you are truly focused on your growth, you don't need an audience to witness it. Silence is not weakness. Restraint is not fear. Privacy is power because it puts you in control. It allows you to protect what is sacred, to nurture what is important, and to reveal only what is necessary when the time is right. Keeping your life private does not mean isolating yourself from the world, but it does mean being intentional about what and who you allow into your space. It means recognizing that not everyone deserves access. It means understanding that some things are meant to be kept close, nurtured in quiet, and revealed only when they are fully ready. There is freedom in discretion. There is power in privacy. There is wisdom in knowing that not everything needs to be shared. Too many people sabotage their own success simply because they talk too much. They get excited about an opportunity, a new idea, or a big move and can't wait to share it with the world. They announce their plans before they've put in the work, before they've secured their position, before they've even laid a strong foundation. But what they don't realize is that the more they talk, the more they expose themselves to unnecessary opinions, unexpected obstacles, and even silent opposition. Some things are meant to be protected until they are strong enough to stand on their own. Talking too much about your plans opens the door for interference. The moment you tell people what you're working on, you give them the chance to insert their doubts, their fears, and their negativity into something that was never meant for them. Some will question your decisions, not because they care, but because they don't believe in you. Others will pretend to support you while secretly hoping you fail. And then there are those who will actively try to block you, whether by stealing your ideas, discouraging your efforts, or creating unnecessary roadblocks. Keeping your plans private protects you from all of that. A dream spoken too soon can be killed before it even has a chance to grow. When you share something in its early stages, you make it vulnerable to forces that can crush it. Doubt is contagious. When people start questioning your ability, your timing, or your strategy, it can plant seeds of hesitation in your own mind. You start second-guessing yourself, overthinking your decisions, and slowing down your progress. That's why it's important to protect what you are building. Nurture it in silence. Water it without broadcasting it. Let it grow without the weight of outside opinions. There's also a level of discipline that comes with keeping things to yourself. Not everything needs to be shared. Social media has created a culture where people feel the need to announce every move, every idea, every success before it even fully materializes. But what happens when things don't go as planned? What happens when you don't get the job? When the deal falls through? When the opportunity doesn't work out? Now, instead of dealing with it privately, you have an audience watching, judging, and sometimes even celebrating your setbacks. Some failures are meant to be faced alone. Some lessons are meant to be learned in silence. Talking too much can also give people the opportunity to move ahead of you. Some people don't have original ideas. They survive by listening to what others are doing and finding ways to do it first. You might share a vision, thinking you're just expressing excitement, but someone else is listening with the intention of taking that idea and running with it. By the time you're ready to execute, they've already beaten you to it. There's a reason successful people operate with a level of secrecy. They understand that not everyone around them has good intentions. They understand that privacy is protection. There is wisdom in keeping your mouth shut until the right time. Some doors don't need to be announced before you walk through them. Some wins don't need to be celebrated publicly until they are fully secured. Some moves are best made in silence, because not everyone deserves a front row seat to your journey. The less people know, the more control you have. The more you keep to yourself, the less you have to explain if things change. And when the time comes to reveal what you've been working on, it will be undeniable, unshakable, and unstoppable. People often talk too much out of insecurity. They want validation. They want reassurance. They want people to see them as successful even before they've actually succeeded. But real confidence doesn't need an audience. A secure person doesn't seek applause before the performance. They do the work. They stay focused. They let their results speak louder than their words. When you discipline yourself to move in silence, you take away the power of outside opinions. You eliminate distractions. You protect your energy, your focus, and your progress. Some things are meant to be sacred. Your goals, your dreams, your next move. These are things that should be handled with care, guarded with wisdom, and revealed only when the time is right. There is no reward in oversharing, but there is peace in privacy. The strongest foundations are built in quiet. The greatest victories happen when nobody sees them coming. And the best way to ensure your success is to stop talking about it and start working for it. Not everyone clapping is cheering for you. Some people only applaud because they want a front row seat to your downfall. They smile in your face, congratulate you, and act supportive, but deep down, they are waiting for the moment you stumble. This is why keeping your life private is so important. When you share too much with the wrong people, you give them access to your wins, your struggles, and your plans. And once they know too much, they have the power to manipulate, sabotage, or use that information against you. Some people are only around because they want to measure your progress against theirs. They don't support you because they believe in you. They support you so they can keep track of you. They want to know if you're doing better than them, if you're moving ahead, if you're getting opportunities they don't have. And if they feel like you're getting too far ahead, their applause turns into resentment. Their encouragement turns into quiet competition. And if you slip, they are the first ones to whisper, "I knew it." Keeping your life private protects you from these hidden intentions. It allows you to move freely without the weight of expectations, fake support, or silent envy. There are people who only celebrate you when you are at a level they are comfortable with. The moment you start rising above them, the energy shifts. They were fine when you were struggling, fine when you were on the same level, fine when you weren't a threat. But as soon as you start excelling, you start to notice the distance, the passive-aggressive comments, the lack of genuine excitement for your success. That's because their support was never real. It was conditional. It was based on them feeling superior, or at least equal to you. The moment your growth challenges their comfort, they start rooting against you. This is why privacy is necessary. You don't need everyone knowing your every move. Some people are only comfortable cheering for you when they don't feel threatened by you. The most dangerous kind of people are the ones who pretend to support you while secretly hoping you fail. They keep you close, act like they're in your corner, but behind the scenes, they doubt you, discourage you, and sometimes even work against you. They ask questions not because they care, but because they want to know where you are in life. They listen to your struggles, not to help, but to gather information. They laugh at your jokes, not because they're funny, but because they want to be in your space long enough to see how you operate. They applaud your wins just enough to not look suspicious, but the moment something goes wrong, they are the first to spread the news. Keeping your life private removes the opportunity for these people to interfere. If they don't know what's happening in your life, they can't use it against you. Some people don't want to see you win. They just want to see you do well. Enough, but not better than them. They will celebrate your small victories, but get quiet when you achieve something major. They will show up when you're struggling, but disappear when you're thriving. They will clap for you in public, but envy you in private. You don't need those kinds of people around you. And the best way to weed them out is by keeping your business to yourself. The less you share, the easier it is to see who is truly for you and who is only there for access. There are also people who pretend to support you so they can stay close enough to control you. They act like they want the best for you, but what they really want is to keep you from realizing your full potential. They will discourage you from taking risks, make you doubt your abilities, and remind you of your past failures so you don't get too confident. They will act like they're protecting you from failure, but in reality, they are just protecting their own ego. Because if you succeed beyond their expectations, they have to face the fact that they never believed in you in the first place. Keeping your life private allows you to move without their limitations. It allows you to grow without their doubts and succeed without their interference. Some people only clap because they are waiting to see if you trip. They want to be close enough to say, "I told you so." They want to witness your journey, not to support it, but to study it, to analyze it, to find weaknesses. They watch your moves, not to learn from them, but to predict when you'll fail. And when you do, they are the first to remind you of every mistake, every flaw, every wrong turn. This is why protecting your privacy is so important. When people don't know your plans, they can't plot against them. When they don't know your struggles, they can't use them against you. When they don't know your wins, they can't downplay them. Fake support is more dangerous than open hate because it disguises itself as loyalty. It pretends to be love when it's really competition. It looks like friendship when it's really surveillance. The only way to protect yourself from it is to control what people know about you. Not everyone who claps is happy for you. Some people just want a front row seat to your downfall. Keeping your life private is not about being secretive. It's about being selective. Not everyone deserves access to your life, your plans, or your progress. Guarding your peace and protecting your circle is one of the most important things you can do if you want to keep your life private. Not everyone deserves access to your energy, your thoughts, or your personal business. It's not about being secretive, it's about being selective. It's about knowing who truly has your best interests at heart and who is simply around out of convenience, curiosity, or even quiet competition. The people you allow into your space influence your mindset, your energy, and your decisions, which is why you must be intentional about who you keep close. Your peace is priceless, and once it's disturbed, it's hard to get back. When too many people have access to you, they bring their opinions, their drama, their energy, and sometimes even their negativity into your life. You start carrying problems that aren't yours, answering to expectations that don't serve you, and explaining yourself to people who were never meant to understand you. Protecting your peace means setting boundaries. It means knowing when to say no, when to step back, and when to remove yourself from situations that disrupt your spirit. Privacy isn't just about keeping information to yourself. It's about controlling what enters your space. Being selective with your circle means recognizing that not everyone who is around you is truly for you. Some people are only in your life because of what they can get from you. Some people are only in your life because of what they can get from you. Some are only there because they like having access to your energy, your knowledge, or your connections. Some people are only around because they enjoy being close to someone who is doing well, but the moment you hit a rough patch, they disappear. Others stay close just to keep tabs on you, not to support you, but to monitor your progress. They listen, they watch, and they wait, not to celebrate you, but to compare, to compete, or to criticize. The less access you give these types of people, the more control you have over your own journey. There's a difference between secrecy and privacy. Being secretive means hiding things out of fear or distrust, but being private means knowing that not everything needs to be shared. It means understanding that some things lose their power the moment too many people know about them. Your goals, your dreams, your relationships, your struggles. These are things that deserve protection, not because you have something to hide, but because you value them enough to keep them safe from unnecessary influence, judgment, or interference. When you're selective about who you share with, you make sure that the people who do have access to you are people who genuinely uplift you, encourage you, and support you. Your inner circle should consist of people who respect your boundaries, honor your growth, and want to see you win without hidden agendas. These are the people who clap when you succeed and support you when you struggle. They don't need to be entertained, reassured, or convinced of your worth. They don't feel threatened by your progress or uncomfortable with your ambition. They understand that their role in your life is not to take from you, but to grow with you. When you protect your circle, you eliminate distractions and surround yourself with people who genuinely align with your vision. Guarding your peace also means being mindful of what you consume. Conversations, environments, and even social media. Oversharing in the wrong spaces can lead to unnecessary stress. The more people know about you, the more opinions they feel entitled to give. The more you put out into the world, the more you invite unnecessary energy into your life. Some people don't need to know what you're working on, who you're with, or what your next move is. The less people know, the less they can interfere, question, or attempt to manipulate your path. Privacy gives you control, and control gives you peace. There is nothing wrong with being open, but openness should come with wisdom. Know who deserves to hear your thoughts, who has earned the right to know your plans, and who is only there to collect information. Not everyone who listens is listening to understand. Some are just listening to repeat, to twist, or to use your words against you later. Some people pretend to care just to gain access, and once they have what they need, they disappear or turn on you. Protecting your life means recognizing these patterns and moving accordingly. You don't owe everyone an explanation. You don't have to justify your decisions, your silence, or your distance. Sometimes the best response is no response. Sometimes the best way to maintain peace is to remove yourself from situations that require you to constantly defend or explain yourself. The people who genuinely care about you will understand your need for privacy, and the ones who don't were never truly there for you in the first place. Choosing to be selective rather than secretive means knowing when to speak and when to be silent. It means understanding that not all relationships are meant to last. Not all friendships are built on genuine connection, and not all support is sincere. It's about trusting your intuition, reading the energy of those around you, and keeping your circle filled with people who add to your life, not take from it. The more intentional you are about guarding your peace, the more you create a life that is protected, peaceful, and truly yours. Some people come into your life not to add value, not to support, not to uplift, but simply to take. They come to eat at your table without ever bringing anything to it. They drain your energy, use your resources, and take advantage of your kindness without ever giving back. This is why it's crucial to be mindful of who you allow into your space, and why keeping your life private is one of the strongest forms of protection. When you let too many people in without discernment, you invite users, opportunists, and spectators into places they were never meant to occupy. Not everyone who smiles at you is for you. Some people are only around because of what they can gain. They see your success, your generosity, your connections, and they want access to it. They want the benefits of being close to you without making any effort to contribute to your life. They take your kindness for weakness, assuming that because you have a good heart, you'll always be available, always be willing to give, always be open to their needs. But relationships, whether friendships, business connections, or partnerships, should be mutual. There should be balance, a give and take, a sense of reciprocity. When you notice that someone is always taking but never giving, always consuming but never contributing, it's a sign that they were never truly for you. Keeping your life private allows you to control who has access to you. It helps you filter out those who are only present for personal gain. When people don't know everything about you, They can't manipulate you, they can't take advantage of your generosity, and they can't use your vulnerabilities against you. Some people ask questions not because they care, but because they want to see what they can get out of you. They pretend to be supportive, but in reality, they are only looking for ways to benefit from your presence. The less you share, the harder it is for these people to take from you without giving anything in return. Some people are drawn to you because they see you as a resource. They see you as someone who can provide them with opportunities, help them get ahead, or support them when they are struggling. And while there's nothing wrong with helping others, the problem arises when people only come to you when they need something. They never check in unless they have a request. They never offer encouragement unless they want something in return. They never support your goals but expect you to celebrate theirs. These are the types of people you need to distance yourself from. When you keep your life private, you make it harder for them to rely on you for their own benefit while giving nothing in return. Not everyone deserves to know your struggles, your plans, or your victories. Some people only want to be close to you so they can keep track of what you're doing. They don't celebrate your success, they just want to monitor it. They don't offer support when you're down, they just want to know when you're struggling. When you keep your life private, you protect yourself from these types of individuals. You eliminate unnecessary energy, reduce distractions, and create space for the people who truly want to see you win. The people who are truly for you will add to your life, not just take from it. They will uplift you, encourage you, and contribute in meaningful ways. They will show up for you even when they don't need anything. They will support your growth without feeling threatened by it. They will celebrate your wins without jealousy and stand by you in difficult times without conditions. These are the people you should keep close. These are the people who deserve access to your journey. When you allow too many people into your life without discernment, you risk being drained emotionally, mentally, and even financially. You find yourself giving more than you receive, pouring into others while being left empty. Keeping your life private isn't about shutting people out. It's about making sure the right people are in. It's about recognizing who is truly for you and who is simply there for their own benefit. It's about understanding that not everyone clapping is celebrating, and not everyone sitting at your table is there to add to the meal. Some are just there to eat until there's nothing left. Discernment is key. Pay attention to patterns. Look at who is consistent, who is genuine, and who is only around when it benefits them. Look at who checks on you without an agenda, who supports you without expecting something in return, who adds value to your life simply because they care. These are the people worth keeping close. The rest don't need access. Keeping your life private allows you to move in peace, to grow without interference, and to focus on your journey without unnecessary distractions. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table, and not everyone clapping is truly happy for you. Be mindful, be intentional, and most importantly, be selective. Letting your results speak for you is one of the most powerful ways to keep your life private. Too often, people feel the need to explain themselves, justify their decisions, or announce their every move before they even take a step. But explanations don't build success, action does. When you're constantly talking about what you're going to do, you open yourself up to opinions, doubts, and unnecessary interference. The more people know, the more they feel entitled to comment, criticize, or even sabotage. That's why moving in silence and allowing your results to do the talking is a strategy that protects both your progress and your peace. Success doesn't need an announcement, it needs execution. There's power in keeping your plans to yourself until they are fully formed. When you talk too much about what you're working on, you invite unnecessary pressure. People start expecting updates, questioning your process, and waiting to see if you'll follow through. Some might even root against you, hoping that you fail so they can say, "I knew it wouldn't work." But when you keep your life private and simply let your results show, you eliminate all of that noise. People don't need to hear about your vision, they just need to see it when it becomes reality. Explanations drain energy. Every time you explain your plans, you give away a piece of your power. You waste time convincing people instead of focusing on the work that actually matters. Not everyone will understand your journey, and not everyone needs to. Some people will doubt you no matter how well you explain yourself. Others will pretend to support you while secretly hoping you fall short. And some will take your ideas and try to execute them before you do. The less you say, the more control you have. Let your progress be the proof, not your words. When you move in silence, you protect yourself from unnecessary opinions. People love to give advice, but not all advice is useful. Some people project their fears onto you. They tell you something won't work because they couldn't make it work for themselves. They tell you to play it safe because they're afraid of taking risks. When you share too much, you invite these fears into your space. You start second-guessing yourself, questioning your decisions, and losing confidence in your ability to follow through. But when you keep your plans private, you stay focused. You trust your vision without external interference. There's a difference between talking and doing. Many people get caught up in making announcements about their goals but never take real action. They tell everyone they're starting a business, but they never launch. They post about their fitness journey, but they never commit. They talk about the book they're writing, but they never finish a chapter. Talking creates a false sense of accomplishment. It tricks the mind into thinking progress is being made when nothing has actually happened. But real success isn't about what you say you're going to do, it's about what you actually do. When you stop explaining and start executing, your actions speak louder than any words ever could. Privacy protects progress. When you're building something meaningful, whether it's a business, a personal goal, or a new chapter in life, keeping it private allows you to grow without distractions. You can adjust, make mistakes, and refine your process without outside noise. You don't have to deal with people questioning your timeline, doubting your ability, or offering opinions that don't align with your vision. You move at your own pace, and when you finally reveal what you've been working on, the results speak for themselves. People respect outcomes more than explanations. You don't have to tell people you're successful. They'll see it. You don't have to explain why you made certain choices. Your results will justify them. When you show up with results instead of words, people take notice. They may not have believed in you at first, but once they see what you've accomplished, they have no choice but to acknowledge it. That's the power of privacy. It removes the need for validation. It allows you to work in peace, free from judgment, and present your success only when it's undeniable. Some people share everything they're doing because they crave approval. They want people to affirm their choices, to tell them they're on the right path. But when you constantly seek validation, you become dependent on outside opinions. You start making decisions based on what will impress others instead of what truly aligns with your goals. But when you keep your life private and focus on the work, you develop a different kind of confidence, the kind that comes from knowing your own worth without needing external confirmation. Success is the best response. Instead of explaining why you made certain moves, let your achievements do the talking. Instead of telling people your plans, let them see the results. Instead of defending your choices, let your growth be the answer. People will always have opinions, but those opinions don't determine your reality. The only thing that matters is what you do. Keep your head down, stay focused, and let your work speak for itself. When you prioritize action over explanation, success becomes your voice, and you never have to justify yourself to anyone. Real power moves in silence because it doesn't seek validation, it seeks results. When you understand this, you realize that keeping your life private is not about hiding, it's about protecting. It's about ensuring that your next step isn't disrupted before it even begins. Too many people talk about what they're going to do, what they're working on, or what they're planning, but the ones who truly make an impact don't need to make announcements. They just show up when the work is done, and the results speak for themselves. Silence is strength. The more people know about your plans, the more they feel entitled to weigh in on them. Some will give unwanted advice, some will doubt you, some will compete with you, and some will wait for the chance to sabotage you. When you move in silence, you take away their ability to interfere. You keep control over your journey, your process, and your pace. Let them wonder what you're doing, let them speculate, let them talk, but don't give them confirmation. When you finally reveal your results, the only thing left for them to do is watch. Privacy gives you power because it removes outside influence. The moment you share your plans, you invite other people's fears, insecurities, and opinions into your space. Some will project their own limitations onto you, telling you why something won't work. Not because it's impossible, but because they don't believe they could do it. Others will pretend to support you, but deep down they hope you fail so they can feel better about themselves. If you tell them too much, they'll find ways to discourage you, delay you, or even distract you. But when you move in silence, you don't give them the chance. You stay focused on the work, And by the time they see what you've accomplished, it's already done. People are more curious about what they don't know. When you stop sharing everything, you create mystery, and that mystery keeps people guessing. It forces them to pay attention, to wonder, to try and figure out what's next. Some will be inspired, some will be frustrated, and some will be desperate for information. But none of that matters, because you are operating on your own terms. You are not explaining, you are not defending, and you are not seeking approval. You are simply moving forward, letting your actions speak louder than words ever could. Talking too much about your goals can create false confidence. It tricks your mind into feeling like you've already achieved something when you haven't. The more you talk, the less urgency you feel to actually do the work. But when you stay quiet and just execute, there's no false sense of accomplishment. Only real progress. The less you say, the more you do. The more you do, the more powerful your moves become. And the more powerful your moves become, the harder it is for anyone to stop you. Not everyone who listens wants you to win. Some are just collecting information, waiting for the right moment to use it against you. They want to know your plans so they can prepare to counter them. They want to know your weaknesses so they can exploit them. They want to know your timeline so they can get ahead of you. But when you move in silence, you take away their ability to predict your next move. They can't block what they can't see. They can't compete with what they don't know. They can't interfere when they have nothing to work with. The greatest victories are the ones that no one saw coming. They are the moments when you walk into the room and command attention, not because you demanded it, but because you earned it. No hype, no announcements, no explanations, just undeniable results. When you keep your life private, you gain an edge. You maintain control over your progress. You don't waste energy proving yourself to people who don't matter. You don't spend time defending decisions that are yours alone to make. You just build, execute, and reveal when you decide the time is right. Silence forces people to respect you. When you don't explain yourself, when you don't overshare, when you don't constantly seek approval, people begin to take notice. They may not know what you're doing, but they feel that you're moving differently. They sense that something is happening, even if they don't know what it is. That unspoken energy carries more power than any words ever could. When you master the art of moving in silence, you no longer need to chase recognition. It finds you. Privacy isn't secrecy, it's strategy. It's about knowing what to share and when to share it. It's about recognizing that not everything needs an audience. Some moves are meant to be made in private. Some victories are meant to be celebrated quietly. Some plans are meant to be protected until they are too strong to be stopped. When you understand this, you stop explaining yourself to people who don't matter. You stop seeking approval from people who don't contribute. You stop letting outside voices shape your path. Instead, you move with purpose, with discipline, and with unwavering focus. Real power isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't need permission. It simply moves, and when it moves, people feel it. Keep your life private, keep your plans to yourself, and let them wonder. But when the time comes, let your actions be undeniable. Let your results be the only proof you need. So today, I challenge you. Keep your focus, keep your faith, and most importantly, keep your business to yourself. Let them wonder, let them speculate, let them assume. But when you show up, let it be with results, not explanations. Because at the end of the day, real power moves in silence. Thank you.